Well, I think the story starts back with my son Gabriel. He was he overdosed in 2010, and that was the first time that I realized that he had an issue with heroin. And what had happened was that he was taken to a local hospital, and he was in a coma for about 8 hours, and he laid at the hospital as a John Doe. And so the hospital didn't know who he was. And about 8 hours later, I'd gotten a call that he was down there. And I went down there, and he did awaken from the coma. And I asked the doctor not to discharge him, but to help us get him help. And at that time, the hospitals only admitted patients for alcohol or Xanax or benzodiazepine overdoses. And they let him go. And I literally had to hold him up as we walked out of the ER. He was shoeless, he was shirtless, and he stumbled as I helped him out of the ER. And I just drove around Louisville looking for somewhere that would take him, and no one would take him because he was not addicted to alcohol or benzos. The one thing that the doctor said to me was, when he said, we only admit for benzos and alcohol because you can die from that. I said, but he just laid here and cardiac arrested and respiratory arrested and has been in a coma for 8 hours. And I just need help. And he said, you're just going to have to take him down to a local place here, and he's going to have to want the help. When I first came, I was like, just learning all this stuff. And what they had done, they had already met with the U.S. Attorney, John Kuhn at the time. And the U.S. Attorney's office here in the Western District of Kentucky had held a heroin summit. I think it was in 2016. And from that summit, they developed a recommendation and a booklet called A Call to Action.
I actually did not know about that summit when it took place. I only learned about it when Doug Stagner gave me a call and said, I just received this fantastic report that's addressing the opioid crisis here in Louisville. And so we got together, and he gave me a copy of the report, and as I looked into the information, I could understand why he was so enthused. It was the groundwork, the framework for creating a strategic plan to address the problem in Louisville.
And the study conducted by the Attorney General for the Western Region said that the average recovery period is 5 years, and our nonprofit is designed to recognize the results of this study. Several of us read it. We said, this is it. This is what we're looking for.
What we're trying to offer is first a little more emphasis and focus on prevention to begin with. But when we've passed the opportunity for prevention, then we're going to address the issues by using parent addiction coaches and life crises coaches to meet with families and create a plan for that family, kind of customized to their situation. And from there, we really want to provide that ongoing support. So the idea is to take the hand of those families that are struggling and walk through the journey with them, not let them out there on their own trying to figure it out or hide because of stigma.
The model that's out there right now, you have treatment providers, and so it's like a top-down model. And with citizens, it's more relational. It's like we're coming alongside, and we're coming side by side with other parents, other families, other people in our community that are walking through this, and they may not know how to navigate this system. They may not know, the best treatment option for their loved one. We have been through this. We have learned a lot. Let us help you and guide you through this process of navigating this system. We want to embrace all kinds of treatment, and we want to be able to talk to parents and say, hey, I think I know a place that you might look into, and let's see if this is a fit for your loved one.
Operation Parent addresses about 40 issues, but they all seem to feed in and end up in the drug culture world. So it starts somewhere. And I'm very passionate about trying to start our education earlier and on these underlying issues.
The biggest thing that happens with addiction is that when we put somebody in detox and they come out, let's say of a healing place, what happens is they step back out into the same life. No car, no job, no family, no place to lay their head, So that's where I come in, is trying to find them, healthy people to come around them to help them find a job, to, plug them into churches and healthy groups. I believe the relational part of addiction and walking alongside people is one of the biggest keys.
My hope for our community is that we don't look at addiction, the current addiction and epidemic problem that we're seeing right now, and believe that's the end all, and that this is a hopeless situation and it's just going to get worse. It doesn't have to be this way at all. Again, there's hope because of prevention, and there's hope because of recovery, and there's hope because this is a new group of citizens who are motivated by nothing other than to help each other.
Any day that a person is alive gives them the chance to do something different. As long as they wake up and have breath in their body, at any moment they can turn. And I believe that we have to keep speaking into their lives, putting the people in their lives. But that's the encouragement that I always give a family. Don't give up, because at any moment they could turn and go the other way.
We have been there where some of us are very seasoned, and we'd like to help you on this journey.